Hello, my name is Akiva and welcome to the channel. Today we are playing Gone Home. Ignore the little resume thing, that was just to test some settings and all that. And also to let you know, I am recording the narration for this in post-production. So it may not exactly match up with what's going on the screen. But you know, I just got done doing the one without commentary, so it is still pretty fresh on my mind. So I'll be able to talk you through what I was thinking and what was going on in my mind during all that. And as you can see, it does take a little bit to load, and it just sort of stops there, and you have to click in order for it to go forward. Not really the best loading mechanic in the world. So I'll shut up and let you hear this.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really, seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
I will say, as we're going into the game, it's a pretty creepy atmosphere. It doesn't, you know, when I was looking through the description for the game, it didn't say, it said it was a point and click story game. But even so, it's still a very creepy atmosphere, so I wonder if there's something more to it. So there are the bags. We'll get the note on the door first. I'll let you guys read that yourselves. I don't know if you want to hear me trying to do voices for characters I don't really know all that well. And of course, front door completely locked. It's not like we called home and said, hey, we're coming home. But it being a point and click game, you want to try to click on everything, so you never know what's hidden. Yeah, I was a little slow to react to some of the environmental cues, like lights flickering and such. But like I said, it's a fairly creepy atmosphere. And the storm outside really didn't help make me feel comfortable in this house where it's apparently empty, despite me having called home and said, hey, I'm coming home. Yeah, as if to further point out that the family just moved into this house, they have the receipt there.
Dear Katie, so much has changed. Even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal. Just like I was talking to you.
So apparently Sam is short for Samantha, I suppose. Sam being, of course, your younger sister. Yeah, it's amazing in this game what all you can actually pick up and look at. I mean, just about everything. And I was looking at the Band-Aid box here, and I was like, am I going to need, like, med packs or whatever? But, of course, it wouldn't let me actually take the Band-Aids, so. And, of course, it wouldn't let me touch the towels, either. Yeah, it was at that point that I actually noticed the dripping from the faucet. I don't know why I didn't hear it beforehand, but it unnerved me. one thing that I really love about this game is all the little details, like this ID card here. You know, they actually, you look at what's going on, and it's not only people actually live here, but they have an actual life. It's pretty cool. So over here, you know, like I said, try and click on everything. Worldwide timetable. This is where your character, Katie, actually flew out to Amsterdam. She had spent a year overseas. But then again, you guys heard that in, you know, Sam's diary entry. But it's still, just watching it, kind of creepy how empty the place is. And Sam's history. And I think Daniel has a bit of a crush on her.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam. Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it...
Yeah, I don't know exactly who the voice of the first two messages was. They sound a bit young to be the mother. It didn't sound like Katie when she left the message. And then, of course, you know, they were calling for Sam, so don't think it was Sam. But we'll find out later in the series, I guess, or later in the game, which for us is going to be a series. And this postcard just kind of cracked me up. Feel free to pause it if it's too fast for you guys to read. But it's a typical American over in Paris. I am American, so I know how we can be. And I love the little details, like being able to pick up the playing cards. I mean, who actually would think about that? And of course, I'm just now noticing that I missed the obituary in there. So, probably in the next... Yeah, in the next playthrough, I will... Or in the next video, I'll go back and take a look at it. But yeah, what I was looking at right there, I don't know if you guys could hear it in the background over me talking, but it sounded like a news story was going on. I assume it would have to do with the storm.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House girl. Great.
And as you can see, you know, it's one of those things you want to look at everything. And if you're really interested in looking at all this stuff. No, I give you plenty of time to pause if I go too fast. And that's another thing. The like with the 3-ring binder there, you know, yeah, there's a lot of little details, but it's nothing overly superfluous. Like, the paper inside had nothing to do with the rest of the story, so you couldn't open the 3-ring binder. As for this letter, please, you're going to need to pause in order to make out these scribbles, because I couldn't. I left it up there as long as I could, trying to figure it out, but all I got out of it was, hey, congratulations, you got married. And beyond that, it was a jumble of scribbles. So, if you guys want to translate that for me, put it down in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it took me a second to realize that if I had just crouched, I probably would have been able to see in there with it only half open. But and some more stuff that, you know, great little background pieces. If I had to guess, I would say that and it's sort of confirmed here in a little bit, but I would say that the father aspires to be a full-time novelist, but the little review that was in the typewriter sort of tells me he's not doing all that well. But didn't realize I'd lingered on these so long. But hey, that's plenty of time for you guys to pause and read it if you want. It's actually fairly cheesy writing, to be honest, but, you know, not the worst I've read. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear that. The house is creaking and all that every once in a while. So I'm not 100% sure if we're alone in the house or not. I mean, there very well could be some psycho killer going through the house, for all I know. And I hadn't found the safe combination to that at that point. One thing that I'm going to do between this video and the next video for this series is I'm actually going to look up some of the books that they have featured featured in the game. See if they're actual books or not. And this is giving a little background on the house itself, showing why there's the lights flicker and all that. But I'm not sure if I buy it or not. And all I have to say is, if you listen to this video on the no commentary version, that fan is loud. Yeah, I swear there was something walking behind me, or maybe on the floor above me. I couldn't figure it out. But, you know, like I said, it's a nice creepy atmosphere. You know, they could have thrown in a ghost or a psycho killer later in the game, and it would fit perfectly. As you can see on this magazine, the story itself actually takes place in 1995, so it's a rather nice little subtle way of getting across exactly what year it takes place in. And here you can actually, we're about to get into it, where you can see Dad's second book. So I think he's the one that's the aspiring writer. Plus you found what I assume is the mother's ID badge earlier in the game, and she's like a forest ranger. But it'll be interesting to see how they tie those into the game as well. This book is actually the reason why I wanted to look it up and see if these are actual books that exist, because I think I remember hearing that title somewhere. And here I go through a, what was that? And as I'm trying to get out of there so I can look around, make sure there's nothing sneaking up behind me. Like I said, this game does really good job of making everything feel creepy, especially when you're not actually talking through the original playthrough, because then you're sitting there, you're focused on the game, and psyching yourself out. But if you're talking while you're playing, it's like you're actually talking to someone. Or in this case, I kind of feel like I am, even though it's a video and you guys can't directly respond to me. But you can still leave comments and such. But there's something comforting about conversing, and that right there is the code for the safe. And the short summary of it is it's just the will for the father inheriting the house from his uncle. His uncle was the one that originally lived here. But yeah, it's the typed copy and then the handwritten copy. And they both say the same thing. But so that in and of itself brings us to the end of the recording. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video. And kick back, relax, and have fun with your games. And I'll see you next time.